This video is dedicated for those powerful women who struggle to embody their femininity, who have been struggling with feeling feminine from within, and who are wondering, what does it take for me to be that sensual, feminine, magnetic woman that I always desire to be? And maybe that you're seeing other women on the internet be like. Hello everybody, my name is Indra and I am a feminine mystic and a mentor, and I'm supporting powerful women like you on the path of embodying their sacred sensuality, their femininity, and forming conscious relationships with men. And today I would like to share with you from my years of being a feminine mentor, but also as a woman who has struggled to fully embrace her sensuality. What does it take for you to become that woman who is fully expressed into that powerful energy that you know you hold inside? My brand name is called Indra Shakti Awakener. And this name came from the energy of Shakti, which is the all-encompassing divine feminine frequency in the Sanskrit tradition in the Indian texts. And Shakti is the representation of the all-encompassing feminine frequency that has all of the flavors of sexual energy. And sexual energy is not just related to sex. When I'm talking about sexual energy, I'm talking about life force energy, which life force can be expressed through a woman in so many ways. We have, a sort of romantic energy, a sort of more dark, provocative energy. We have a more sacred prostitute type of energy. And if you know anything about feminine archetypes, or if this is the first time that you've learned about this, a feminine archetype is a way in which feminine energy is being expressed, and is a way that you can understand how to work with that energy for you to become that energy. So I actually started to work with goddesses and goddess beings like Isis, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, very early on in my spiritual development. And I understood that all of these goddess beings represent an archetype that can be moved through us, and we can become them. And why am I saying this when it comes to how to embody your feminine frequency? Well, it is because every woman has a feminine frequency of its own. And in my opinion, when you discover your own flavor of Shakti, your own flavor of the divine feminine, that is when you truly crack the code to be the woman that you are meant to be. Because I see this in so many of my clients, and my sister was actually the first client that I had, the first woman that I supported in helping her understand her Shakti. Because let's say she's older than me. You will find her on my page if you want to check out our other podcast episodes. They're very juicy and yummy. She is older than me, but I came into this world more sensual and more expressive of my feminine energy already. I obviously also needed to overcome some obstacles into my self-image, into my self-love, a lot of them, into my self-confidence, but naturally I had a very sexual expression of Shakti. This is who I came into the world to be. It is not who I'm trying to be. It is not a performance. I could care less about what other people think of me. And even if my expression is fucking amazing, I don't care for praise necessarily, because this is who I truly am. But her expression came into the world a bit more stuck in her body and a bit more masculine, let's say. She had an overly masculine energy that she needed to work through. So what I actually did a couple of years ago when I started my spiritual journey and the path of being Tantrika and a feminine embodiment mentor, is I understood that her flavor wasn't calibrated, wasn't discovered. She was trying to be maybe more like me, or maybe more like the women who she was seeing online that were very sensual and expressive in their own way, but it wasn't actually according to her unique flavor. So after we did some sessions of feminine embodiment in which I guided her through her body to understand, to connect with that Shakti essence, with that feminine flavor inside of her, which is coming through our own bodies and through our own beings. She understood that her flavor had this very natural, feminine, grace-filled energy. She was feeling very pure, but there was also like a sensuality in that pureness. So she was not really embodying like the raunchy dark goddess that other women are naturally expressive as, but she was more of a sweet flavor of the feminine that is still very powerful and is still very confident and is still very magnetic. So what I want all women to understand through this is that you need to understand what's your strength, what's your passion, what you feel inside of yourself that you are natural at, what's your natural expression. And how I guide women in this process is by helping them go deep within themselves through using your breath. You're anchoring deep inside of your womb, especially around this area of the the area between the belly and the womb. This area is very powerful because if you go deep within a few centimeters below your belly button, you will start to feel how there is an energy there, almost like an egg. And that is the place also in, I think, Chinese tradition that is called the lower dantian. And that is where life force energy is coming through. And for women, especially, this area is so important because that is where your Shakti is coming alive from. That is the place where this feminine divine energy is being expressed through. But the women who have suffered emotional abuse, sexual abuse, who have been repressed all of their lives, who are in a very deep good girl syndrome, who people please, who were taught that their emotions are invalid, who were suppressed by men in their lives, this life force energy is stuck. This life force energy cannot be moved. So what you actually need to do is that you actually need to start to move through it. You need to move your body, you need to move your hips, you need to move and sway this part of you, this lower part of you, because that will agitate all of that trauma, all of that suppression. It will come out, and that is when you will embrace your Shakti. That's the most powerful gift that you have to the world. It is your Shakti, it is your life force, it is your feminine essence. But if you are not willing to move through it, and if you're getting stuck in it and staying repressed in it, you will never be able to discover this. You will never be able to give this as the gift that you need to give to the world, as the gift that you need to give to your partner. You will never be skilled in intimacy. You will never have that full self-love for yourself if you don't discover this. And this is what we are doing in my one-on-one mentorship. I am also a Tantra teacher, I'm an energy healer, I'm an intuitive mentor. I can see very deeply inside of you, I can move the energy inside of your body. I'm also guiding you somatically and in a tantric way to feel your power, feel your presence, feel your love. And together we will transform all of that repression into power. Because you will be able to go deeper inside of you and feel all of those fears, feel all of that pain from the past, and I will guide you to embrace it in a safe, loving way. I will guide you through my years of experience to embrace all of the shadows, all of the ickiness around your self-image or your body or your sexuality or sensuality, and together you will become the woman that you are always meant to be and to live in. And we will use all of this movement of the Shakti for you to constantly stay in this embodiment, for you to constantly work on the image of the woman that you truly desire to be, because from that place you will attract the man that you desire, or you will deepen into your relationship. You will understand how to be a more skilled sexual partner. You will understand how to approach life from this openness, from this receptivity, from this tenderness towards your body and towards yourself. And this is the path that I have been on. Actually, this is how my journey of feminine embodiment started. I started to work with my Kundalini energy, with my sexual energy, and movement was a big part of it. Because I started to, my body wanted to move so much, to dance, to express, and through this movement, like I said, I agitated that life force energy, that Kundalini that moved through me, and I actually gained a lot of spiritual powers and a lot of spiritual knowledge when I also embraced this divine feminine power and these divine feminine gifts. And like I said at the beginning of the video, this is how you will understand what is your flavor. Again, if we work together, I will help you understand if you are more dark goddess sea energy like, for example, if there's a deep provocative woman inside of you that wants to come out, you will understand all of your archetypes, because it's not that you're just one of them. Maybe you are like 50% dark goddess, 30% sacred slut, and what's the rest, 20% like the divine mother, you know. And even if these are very spiritual terms that you don't really understand, we will make them very tangible for you. Like, I will help you understand how to actually apply all of these things in your day-to-day life, and I will give you very powerful practices to constantly anchor into this. Because when you fully co-create with your archetypes, you understand how to be the best partner in the bedroom. You understand how to own your pleasure. You understand how to live life from this incredible magnetic space. You understand how to make money, how to create abundance, how to live life on your own terms. And you know that even if you've created an incredible level of abundance and you have all of this freedom, for example, maybe you still feel stuck in your body and you still don't know how to understand how to relate to men from a deeper level and how to create intentional loving relationships. And by coming back into your body and by going to the root cause of your identity as a woman, which is found here in your belly, in your womb, that is when you will understand how you need to be as a woman, how you need to act in the world for you to become the most powerful version of yourself and receive everything that you desire. And this flavor of your feminine was designed specifically for you to tap into it, to receive it, to fully co-create with it. And I will teach you how not to suppress certain desires that you have, certain parts of you that you don't accept, because in this transformation you will actually work really, really in depth with your innermost desires, with your innermost pleasures, with the things that you truly want the most. And then you will start to integrate it, and you will start to accept it, and you will start to love it. You will start to love that you're a woman who has a very strong sexual desire, and you will start to use that to your advantage to maybe fuel you into more power, into more Shaktiness, into more pleasure, into more fierce energy. Or maybe you will understand that you have an amazing gift in your heart to be so graceful and to bless the world with your grace-filled energy. And you will understand how to use the empathy of your heart and the vulnerability again in a way that supports you, in a way that people don't take advantage of you and you don't overgive in relationships, but maybe you need to understand how to learn sovereignty and how to impose your boundaries even better. So this is the key to how to live a fulfilling life as a woman, actually, is understanding who you are as a woman, understanding your archetypes, understanding how to work with your pleasure and your desires, and for you to actually start to embody all of these things on a deeper level. And I will definitely say that my path has been more easy when I worked with people who could decode all of these things for me. So if this sounds very juicy and yummy for you, I invite you to check out more about my work on my Instagram. Feel free to DM me and we can talk more about how I can support you.